So if you're like me, you want to get lean for summer so that you can take your shirt off on the beach, wear better outfits, or just feel more confident and actually be able to enjoy the hot weather, be it with socials, holidays, vacations, whatever it may be. You want to lose body fat and get lean for summer, but for some reason, every single year, it seems like you just don't quite make it happen. Maybe you tried before but fell off, maybe you got distracted, maybe you followed the wrong plan or the wrong nutrition strategy, and for some reason, you're still not lean, you're still fed up, maybe you're skinny fat, you want to build a bit more of a physique, and you're just absolutely sick and tired of being stuck in the same place, and you're thinking, why can I just not get lean for summer? And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why that is the case, and I'm also going to show you how to fix it and how these 226 men have lost body fat and gained muscle so you can copy them. So straight to it, let's start with the inevitable obvious thing, and that is the lifestyle. Because when it's Christmas, New Year's, winter, and it's cold, you're not really thinking about your summer abs at that time, right? You're probably wearing long sleeves, you're not really too concerned about fat loss or being in great shape. But then it gets closer and closer and closer to summer, and summer's on the horizon, that's when you start to think about it. But what also happens around this time is that's when you're going to be more distracted. That's when there's barbecues, beer gardens, you're socializing, you got vacations. So what's happening here is you're trying to be disciplined and strict with your diet and training at a time you're already being more sociable and busier with work and lifestyle around that time. So it's kind of no wonder that most people don't get lean throughout summer. They normally get lean before summer, which is obviously the reason most people are still out of shape or they leave it until last minute. So the lifestyle is the main thing. And the way I approach this with myself and my clients is the lifestyle that you live now has to make room for the fitness that you're trying to achieve. If you cannot fit in a workout plan and a nutrition plan around your current lifestyle, then it's just not going to happen. You could definitely argue that you need to change the lifestyle and that getting in shape is a lifestyle, and there's definitely truth to that. But are you really going to be waking up at 5 a.m. to cook a little box of chicken, broccoli and rice? Are you really going to say no to every single social event, not see your families on the weekend? When your grandma cooks you some cookies, you go, no, I'm on a diet, sorry. These are good for the short-term strategies, but to actually manage to stay on track long enough to get the result that you want, this is just not plausible. So you need to learn how to be flexible within your lifestyle. And the way that I do this with my clients is that we basically plan in the mess ups. So I'll use myself as an example for this week. I've got a festival that I'm going to on the Sunday. So very simple. I'm going to be on track Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday is going to be the cheat day, if you want to call it that. Now, it's not going to be excessive. Cheat days don't mean eating 10 cakes and 10 pies and going, yeah, cool, I've earned it. But if you're on track 6 days out of the week, and then the 7th day you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you're over your calories a little bit, maybe you don't quite hit your protein for one day, it's not going to destroy your progress. You can still substantially move forward. But just by having this outlook on your plan, it's not so on and off, all or nothing. Because if it is all or nothing, you're going to go, well, this week there's no point. I got a festival on the weekend, and then you're going to drop the ball and then spend 7 days messing up. And then after the festival, you've just spent 7 days messing up, and it's a domino effect. You kill one habit, it kills the next, it kills the next. You're not going to track your calories, you're not going to go to the gym, and you're not going to get up early, you're not going to meal prep, and it's just going to be a downward spiral. And then that kind of makes you think to yourself, well, oh, I can't stick to this. Maybe I can't get in shape. It's not for me. At that point, when you realize it's hard, you might start looking for the easy options. Like, maybe I should do a weight loss drug. Maybe I should try ketone carnivore. And then you start going down the spiral of things that you already know aren't really going to work. So the lifestyle is a big thing. You must plan ahead and make things flexible, otherwise it just won't last long enough. When was the last time you had 6 months where everything went to plan? And when was the last time you had a bunch of time on your hands? Probably never. So it has to fit the lifestyle, and we do that by planning ahead and being flexible. Then the second thing is the strategy. Maybe you're following the wrong strategy to get in shape. If you think that just cutting your calories drastically and doing loads and loads of cardio is going to help you get lean, then you're going to hit a wall pretty damn soon. It's not sustainable, and you're going to feel like crap. And if you feel like crap and it's not sustainable, you're going to keep falling off, especially if you're trying to balance it with being social. So the strategy also matters. Now, of course, to lose body fat and get lean, we need to be in a calorie deficit. Everybody knows that. And I have provided a free nutritional blueprint so you can work out your exact numbers and the exact macronutrients you should have and when to adjust it so you don't get lost with the calories, because that is really, really important. If this ain't right, you're not going to get anywhere. Get your calories sorted out. That's free down below. So we know we need to hit the calories. It's all well and good me going, hey bro, calorie deficit bro, but how? What's the strategy? What if you have a busy work life schedule and you have to go out and meet clients and they're like, hey, here's free pizza every single time? Do you just walk in there and say no every single time? Which is not a bad choice, but how long is that really going to last? Does that pee off the clients? Do you know what I mean? You have to make sure you have a strategy to make the calories work for you and your lifestyle. What if you're in a relationship and every weekend your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or whatever wants to go out and go for a nice meal, and you've got to show up there with a little box of broccoli and go, sorry darling, it's diet season? They're not going to like that. that. So it's not really something you're going to do, let's be real. So we need a strategy. Now, what I personally like to do is I like to track my calories to guarantee those numbers are correct, which gives me the option to be flexible when I need to. But to make things simpler and easier to stay on track with, so I don't get a lot of decision fatigue, is to plan those meals ahead of time. So I have a set breakfast, a set lunch, and a set dinner, and then some room for some snacks, because I'm a bit of a snacker. And then I will stick to that, and it's pre-tracked. It's easy, it's effortless, it's a no-brainer, it doesn't take any thought process. And then if I get really bored, if I crikey, mate, I've had too many omelettes, I'm sick of omelettes, could scramble it, couldn't I? I could fry the eggs and put it on some toast, you know, and I can just adjust what I'm tracking and make it fit. So have a foundation that you stick to that works for you, and be realistic with this. If you don't like fish, don't have fish as every meal, right? If someone said to me you have to have, you know, tuna fish for every lunch, that's probably going to last 2 days before I go, nah, I'm good. So make sure the meals are something you like and track it, make it fit your numbers. And then that way, if someone goes, knock, knock, we're going to Papa John's or we're going for a Korean barbecue, nice choice, then you can go on your MyFitnessPal, whatever app you're using, and just go, right, let me just delete dinner for today. Let me put in some honey, soy, garlic, fried chicken. Absolutely amazing. Put that in there. And it should be an equivalent calories to what you were going to have already. And if it goes over a little bit, guess what? If you go over by 200 calories, you're probably still in a deficit. And if you go over by a lot, you can take it off the next day. You can chuck in some steps. You can do some extra cardio to shave off those calories, or just roll with it and see how the week ends up. And you might be surprised by the end of the week if most of the day's on track. Do you see how this works? It's not going, oh my gosh, guys, you have to only eat steak and broccoli from a chopping board. Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere, because you're not going to do that 365 days of the year, are you? It's saying get meals that you can tolerate and somewhat enjoy, stick to them, and when you get bored, swap them out. And if you need to be flexible, plan it ahead of time, make it fit. That way, the diet is not even like a diet. It never feels like I'm really on a diet, to be honest with you. And because you're tracking it, the numbers are guaranteed. And if the numbers are guaranteed, so is your results. So this is a huge, huge thing. This is how all of my clients got their results, because we track the calories. I will review it every single week, make sure it's correct, and then we make the relevant adjustments when needed. And if they've got something coming up or a busy week, we plan ahead and make it work. That way, every single week they're making progress. They're seeing visual results every 7 days, and that will add up to a nice transformation in anywhere between 8, 12, and 16 weeks. And for some guys, it might take 12 months, but that's just the nature of the beast, because we're all different and we've got different genetics. And then thirdly, and this is really powerful, and I wish someone told me this sooner, instead of worrying about doing lots and lots of cardio and doing 5 days a week, and you got to be in the gym 2 hours, bro, like all the Hollywood guys tell you, like, hey, yeah, dude, I'm in the gym like 8 days a week. 365 per week, and yeah, bro, train 6-7 times a day. When they don't, right? They're just Hollywood. They take trend and they have bologna sandwiches and they do bench press, right? And then when Hollywood knocks the door, like, yeah, guys, I do high rocks and battle ropes. No, they don't. Okay. So look, the bottom line is, you're probably busy. You've probably got a life to live. You probably work long hours. You probably have a family to look after. You can't live like a fitness influencer eating your acai bowls around the flipping ocean going, guys, getting in shape is really easy if you just do nothing but getting in shape. You're a human being, not a robot or an influencer. So that means your workouts need to be quick, effective, and to the point. So what I recommend for most guys, and to be honest with you, most of my clients are like working 60 to 80 hours a week, is a pull, push, legs, 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops. And if they're really busy, an upper body, lower body, 30 minutes a pop. So an hour a week. And you might be thinking, well, that's not enough. All these influencers said I got to do, got to hustle, bro. No, really, to be honest with you, less is more, because if you overload each session, if you go to the gym and you do half an hour of compound lifts and you're adding reps, weights, intensity, and improving your form over time, your body's going to adapt and change. And then if you back that up with a good amount of calories and a good amount of protein and get good sleep, good water, all that typical obvious stuff, your body's going to improve. You're going to have more energy, better focus, and you're going to get more muscle and you're going to lose more body fat. Whereas if you did 5 days a week and 2 hours per session, you're going to quickly burn out. You're not going to recover enough, so you're not going to overload enough, and you're just literally doing a load of junk volume and burning the candle at both ends. You're spinning plates, you're chasing 7 rabbits, you're going to get nowhere. And I say this from experience. I spent from the age of 14 to about 20 just training my ass off because I had loads of time to do it, and I looked the freaking same. Here's a photo, right? I looked the exact same. Then I got a job, I grew up, and I was like, right, well, I'm really busy and I don't really have much time for the gym, but I'm not going to make excuses. So I went 3 days a week, half an hour time, just after midnight, which is not ideal. And I just tracked the basics, and I did reps and weight, and then here's my overall transformation over a few years. So less really is more. Not less effort, not less focus, but less overall volume depending on where you're starting. So if you follow those things that I said there, manage your lifestyle so it's flexible, and then that way nothing stops you, and then you don't just stop every time something gets inconvenient. Get your calories absolutely spot on and plan ahead your tracking so you know your numbers and you can be flexible again. And then focus on getting stronger with less is more approach to the gym. If you follow those 3 things, you can achieve a head-turning transformation. This isn't just what I've made up and thought, oh, that'd be a good idea. This is what I've been doing for the past 10 years with my clients. I've applied it to all sorts of people. We applied it to Reese, who's a younger lad, and he was able to gain loads of muscle and lose body fat just by following this as a recomposition. Then we've got Matt, who's a little bit older, and he was managed to lose his belly and get some abs and gain a bit of muscle and strength whilst being a very active individual outside of the gym and very flexible with his food. And this was 4 months. And you got Matthew, this is about 12 weeks. Technically 11 because there was 1 week where he was a bit ill, but he was able to lose the sudden body fat after just cutting down his calories for so many years and getting nowhere. Getting a bit stronger helped him shift the last little bit. And then you got Leon, this is about 11 weeks as well. He'd been training for 2 years and just got stuck, so we got precise with his performance and his nutrition, and he was able to transform in 11 weeks compared to the 2 years. Then you got some vegans, look, vegans can do it, it's all inclusive, right? You got Pierce, he was able to lose body fat, reverse diet and gain some muscle and stay lean. This just works, it's just managing the basics and doing it properly and then being realistic about the lifestyle. So many guys say, what's the best workout plan? What's the best training plan? It's the best plan you can stick to and progress with. That's that simple. So grab your nutritional blueprint to make sure your numbers are right, because I will sleep better at night knowing that you've got that correct, because that will be 80% of it. And pick a basic workout routine that you can follow and overload. And as a last resort, if you really do get stuck, because all these guys here had my help, they needed the accountability, they needed the structure, they needed the guidance. It's all well and good saying do this, do that, but actually doing it is a different thing. We all know the recipe, but actually getting in the kitchen and cooking it is a different deal. So sometimes you need Gordon Ramsay shouting at you, calling you a freaking donkey, which is not how I coach, but if you want me to call you a donkey, I will. So if you want my help, there's a link down below. You can book a call with me and see if I can actually help you out one-to-one. If you want to know how I eat to fix skinny fat, here's a video that shows you what exactly I ate to fix skinny fat, and comment Apple for the algorithm, like the video. I got to say this at the start. My goodness, I say it at the end. Anyway, this is all right, banana and apple. Not the first combo I would choose, but it's all right.